DC. We're here to talk about Marvel. We're here to talk about Marvel.
Marvel.
Up and coming company that kind of inspired all of us and all of this that we're here for. So Stan, I wanna go all the way back to the beginning of Marvel, pre-Marvel, time in comics in the 30s when you were getting your start. Tell us about that and what that time was like.
It was nice. This is why I'm such a good guest at times. I don't talk too much. I don't bore the group. One word answers, then I'm ready to go.
In your wildest dreams, in a million years, did you
I don't have wild dreams. I have sensible dreams.
Don't tell me the man who gave us all these amazing heroes.
I'm an expert to do this because they hate being on panels with me because I never answer right. So he gets a bonus for doing this.
Well, I want to talk about that time, and I want to talk about who, you're a hero to all of us. I think that's safe to say. But I want to go back to that time. It was a very different kind. There was no Comic-Cons. There was no fandom. There were barely any comics.
We were savages.
Your heroes didn't even wear spandex yet, guys. I know it's hard to imagine. But the original Fantastic Four, they didn't have costumes, right?
Couldn't afford them. It was my first superhero book. Didn't have a lot of money.
And then what made you decide I'm going to give them spandex outfits?
Well, what makes you think they were spandex? Why do we advertise that company spandex? They might have been polyester. They might have been.
I feel like spandex is the only explanation for the Hulk's pants. I feel like that's...
What? Spandex is the only explanation for the Hulk's pants.
Don't make fun of the Hulk now. I have learned not to make fun of the Hulk.
Spoiler alert, guys, Stan Lee is actually the Incredible Hulk.
I gotta tell you a funny thing. I'm a very handicapped person. My hearing is crazy. I'm a handicapped person. I have crazy hearing. I can hear when people talk to me in a normal tone, but when this guy or anybody puts the mic in front of him and he talks to me, it sounds to me like talk to me, put down the mic. They won't know what you're saying. They don't count. I'm the guy that
I'm just gonna have a conversation with Stan. I'm sorry. Come on, go home.
I hate that you think I'm less than perfect, but I do have these minor failings.
Well, I want to know who your heroes were in the.
He wants to know who my heroes are. I'll tell you my first superhero. You probably have not heard of him. He's what's his name?
Scarlet Pimpernel.
Errol Flynn?
No, Scarlet
Yeah,
Pimpernel.
he was always Errol Flynn. Nobody can beat Errol Flynn.
And the Scarlet Pimpernel.
Howdy, Murphy.
The Scarlet Pimpernel, not the Scarlet
Pimpernel.
The Scarlet Pimpernel. Did anybody here read or see the Scarlet Pimpernel? That was to me the first and greatest superhero movie. There was this guy who called himself the Scarlet Pimpernel. Nobody knew who he really was. And he was rescuing all the nobles from France that were supposed to be beheaded. He'd go to France and find some way to get those people into a wagon and go through the troops and get them back. And he was great. He was a real superhero, and it was a real life type of thing. And that's when I started to like superheroes. And don't forget the name, the Scarlet Pimpernel. When when you get home, go to whatever place you get your old movies at, and see if you can get a copy and watch it. I promise you, you will love it. All right, that's the end of the page. They pay me to do it.
Stan is paid by the big pepper industry. You know what?
It's your last Texas Con appearance.
My last Texas appearance. I hope this is my next to the last one. I love Texas. I love the fans here. I love everything about this place. I haven't trouble with him, in other words.
You talked to my wife. I want to give you guys as much time as possible to ask all your questions. There's a lot of you here. We're going to do this traditional Comic-Con style. We have mics here, I believe, in all 4 rows. So if you'd like to ask a question, look for a volunteer right there.
This is what I heard.
That's all I said, actually. That was what I said the whole time. All right, we got our first question. I'll repeat it for you.
I have to answer questions.
You have to
You
answer.
didn't tell me I had to answer questions. Now wait a minute. I never signed to answer questions. I'm not being that mess. What if I don't like the question? What if I don't know the answer? I'll be embarrassed. You put me up here to embarrass. All right, I'll play along. Let's get that first question.
Here we go. First question.
I have to look over there. I don't see anything in the bright light.
So out of all the Marvel movie cameos, which one has been your favorite?
I don't get any person that get you.
I didn't hear that either, though. All I heard was
What's his favorite Marvel cameo?
Favorite cameo?
Your favorite cameo.
Oh, that's easy. Do you remember my magnificent performance? In one of the movies, the Hulk was having a drink. And I said, I want a drink. And he said, you can't drink this. It'll kill you. This is for a strong man or something. And I said, I want a drink. So he gave me a drink. So in the next scene, they were carrying me out. Now, you may be wondering why such an unglamorous type of thing to happen to me would be my favorite cameo. And I'll tell you why, in case you haven't figured it out. It was the only cameo I had that had 2 scenes. My second favorite, of course, was the one where Tony Stark thought I was Hugh Hefner, and I'm standing with this great gorgeous girl with my arms around them, and I said to the director, I got room for another girl, but he didn't.
I think his name is Tony Stank, though, right? Tony Stank? All right, we're going to go over here. How was your name?
Summer.
It's Summer right over there.
Go ahead, Summer.
What is your favorite Marvel movie?
Wait a minute, why does the voice come from there and he's over there? I hear a voice from there.
It's called. I think that's called.
I don't want you, I want you to be truthful with me. Are you sure the guy isn't over there?
Well, it's a young girl.
Girl, I want everybody's attention, you won't be quiet. What's the girl gonna say?
What is your favorite Marvel movie?
What's your favorite Marvel movie?
Oh, I don't really have one. I love them all. And it's like saying who my favorite children. That's still gonna be no one show. But I don't know, I never really think favorites. Usually, whichever one I'm watching at the moment, that's my favorite at that moment, because they're all so wonderful, and you obviously know. Thank you.
Are you ready? What's your name?
Logan.
What? What's your question?
Who is your favorite superhero that you have created?
What's your favorite superhero you've created?
I guess Spider-Man. He's become world famous. He's kind of like Mickey Mouse. Spandex.
Ready?
Hi, my name is Ben Stricker. My question is, what character were you most surprised about when it became popular?
Oh,
You,
that's,
you can name that.
yeah, that one I heard. That was a really good question. His question was, what superhero were you surprised became popular?
None of them.
Captain Marvel.
No, I would have been surprised if any of them didn't become popular. Then I'd be worried.
Ready?
Hi, my name is Hunter, and my question is, I know Marvel keeps you pretty hush on all your cameos, but can you tell me anything about your future cameos in Marvel movies?
He's asking about any kind of hints about your future Marvel cameos.
No, but I will tell you, there is somebody working on a movie in which I play a superhero. And it's not gonna be me, someone else is gonna play me. I can't tell you any more about it because it's in the works now. But it's gonna be a big movie. I can't believe it, but they're working on it. So you better invite me here again next year. I'll have all the details.
Easy, Bryan Cranston. Bryan Cranston. Do you know him?
Bryan Cranston.
Yeah.
Of course.
He'd be a good you.
Yeah, he's not bad. I'm sorry Clark Gable was dead. And Errol Flynn. Can you picture Errol Flynn as me? Wow.
This is my favorite thing ever. Ready?
Hi. My question is, were there any funny or memorable moments on set, like when you weren't filming?
She's asking about funny moments during your cameos with the cast.
Funny moments when I do
Yeah,
cameos.
like when you're filming. Yeah.
Well, all the moments are funny because I'm always begging the director, can you give me a bigger cameo? The director is always saying to the producer, will somebody shut this man up and just do it? No, there's no, every minute is a funny, wonderful moment. I love the actors, I love the directors, we get along great, mostly because I'm not there too long. And it's doing those cameos is more fun than anything. I'm in the movie, and yet I didn't have to work hard. I'll tell you a funny thing. Once I had to do a cameo, and I came to the studio, and I was wearing a pair of jeans, sneakers, a white shirt, and I think a sweater like this actually. So I walked, they say you have to go into wardrobe. So I go to the wardrobe tent, or wagon really, and the wardrobe person is there and she says to me, okay, you gotta put these clothes on. So what were the clothes? They were a pair of jeans, sneakers, a white shirt, and a sweater like this. So I said, but I'm already wearing that. I know you have to wear our clothes. Very indignant. So I had to take off what I was wearing, put on the exact same thing. That's show business for you.
Everything was slightly more happy.
Well, of course, my clothes fit much better than what they did.
All right, I think we're over here.
Hey, out of all your cameos, which was your least favorite?
You can tell what that was.
I think so.
Go ahead.
Which was your least favorite?
I don't have any. I love everything. I tell you what, I must be the easiest to please guy who ever lived. I love everything I do. I love sitting here talking to you, and you won't be leaving and saying that guy is a fruitcake. I'm having a great time. I love whatever I do. I'm even tolerating him.
My least favorite cameo.
There are no cameos that weren't.
Exactly. Yeah, my least favorite. Oh, you weren't in Logan.
Did you see Mallrats years ago?
Yes.
Well, that was more than a cameo. I thought of myself as the star of the movie. But what I'm telling you, the reason I'm telling you this, they're making another Mallrats. He promised me an even bigger role, so I can't. I don't know
I think that speaks for all of us in saying we missed you in Logan. I thought you would have made a great old man Logan.
I'd have made a great anything. Modesty has never been one of my problems.
You're adorable. Let's go back over here.
Hi. As a creator, I was wondering if you ever struggled with making a story or a piece, and if so, how did you get through it?
I'm sorry, I didn't get that yet. Can you repeat it?
Sorry. As a creator, did you ever struggle with making a story or anything? And if you did, how do you get through it?
Yeah, the question is, as a creator, as a writer, was there a story that you really struggled with? Or a character that you really had a hard time with that didn't come as
Actually, there is a character that I didn't do well with. And I'm trying to think of his name. Oh, yeah, Diablo. Jack Kirby and I were doing some script, I forget what it was, and we needed a villain. And I usually think of a name first, name that I like, and then I create the character to go with the name. And I said, nobody is using Diablo. That's a great name. He said, okay, what do you want me to do? So I said, call him Diablo. He said, who is he? And that made me think I didn't know. So I sat down and I started thinking, what will I do with Diablo? And I must have thought of something, because we used him in whatever book it was, I don't even remember. But I don't think it ever came out that good. And I hate to have you think that I haven't always been 100% successful with wonderful. But I think that's one area where I didn't do too well. I came up with a name, and I can't tell you today who the guy is or what he did or anything. But he was Diablo, and that's a good name. Diablo.
Seems great if this guy's name is Diablo.
Was there ever a DC character that you were jealous of that you said, man, I wish I'd thought of that?
Wash your mouth out. I didn't tell you something funny, Bob.
Kate.
Bob Kane, my good friend. Bob Kane was a very close friend of mine. He and his wife and my wife and I used to go out to dinner a lot. We were good friends. And he was always saying to me, this was years ago, ha ha, we have a TV series with Batman and you ain't got none. And we're working on a Batman movie and Marvel isn't working on anything. And oh boy, he boarded it over to me. Now, I'm in a position where I can really sock it to him. And the son of a gun dying on me. I hope you listen, Bob. I hope you listen.
So Diablo.
Just piggybacking off that last question about the creative process, for for every good idea of a character you've come up with, how many bad ideas have you had to go through until you found that aha moment?
Okay, so he's asking, is there?
Must have been some tough
He's asking basically if there was a character that. Can you ask the question?
For every good idea you've had, how many bad ideas have you had to go through until you found that like aha moment of an original character that you're trying to come up with?
I feel like I've been up here long enough that I know what he's going to say. He's going to say he's never had a bad idea. He's asking, with a given character, how many bad ideas did you have to, like Spider-Man? What's your favorite Marvel character?
Spider-Man.
Okay, all right. With Spider-Man, how many bad ideas did you have to throw out before you really figured it out, or was it?
Why sure, bad idea. I wouldn't be sitting up here if I had bad ideas. If I haven't told you this before, if you've heard this before, interrupt me, all right? It wasn't easy to get Spider-Man done because we were looking for a new superhero. This is way back. My boss said, hey, we did well with the Fantastic Four and whatever else we had. Come up with a new superhero. So, in order to get a new superhero, the first thing you need to do is figure out what power does he have. And I was trying to think what would be a good superpower. And I saw a fly crawling up the wall. And I figured, gee, if I can get a hero who can stick to walls. And I started thinking about it, organizing. Then I had to come up with a name. Flyman didn't sound dramatic enough. Mosquito Man sounded funny. And I went down the list, and then I got to Spider-Man. Oh man, that sounded scary and dramatic and nice. And then I figured I'll make him a teenager, because there weren't any teenage superheroes. So that'll make him different. And then I figured I'll give him a lot of personal problems. As far as I know, Superman and Batman never had any personal problems. So I was really excited, and I ran into my publisher's office, and I told him what I had come up with. And he said, quote, Stan, that is the worst idea I ever heard. He said, first of all, you can't call a hero Spider-Man because people hate spiders. You can't make him a teenager because a teenager can only be a sidekick. And you want him to have personal problems. Stan, he's a superhero. Don't you know what a superhero is? So boy, I walked out of the office, my tail between my legs. But we had a book we were going to kill called Amazing Fantasy or something like that. Now, when you're going to kill a book, nobody cares what you put in the last issue, because the book is going to die anyway. So just to get it out of my system, I had Spider-Man drawn, and I featured him in the last issue of Amazing Fantasy. And I forgot about it. A month later, after the books, all the sales came in for all the books, my publisher ran into my office. I had a little thing like a closet. Ran into my working space. And he said, Stan, you remember that character, Spider-Man of yours? Let's make him a full series, because that had been the best-selling book we had for the whole month. And that is how Spider-Man was born. So if I tell you how each one of them was born, that'll keep us here all the time. You won't have to worry about it. Don't worry, I have a bad memory. I don't remember how the others were born.
embodied the character? Like really, when you envisioned the character, who really?
The first one.
Tobey Maguire?
I thought Tobey Maguire was just perfect. Everyone had his way the whole beautifully. Maybe it's an easy role to play. If I were a little younger,
Have you met the new kid?
not yet, but I'm going to.
Yeah.
He's gonna freak out.
Hi, Mr. Lee. If you could spend a day with a superhero, who would you like to choose?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
If you could spend a day with a superhero, who would you like to choose?
It said if you could spend a day with any of your superheroes, who would you spend a day with?
Maybe Tony Stark. There'd be sure to be a lot of beautiful women around. And maybe I could borrow some dough from them.
How did you come up with all the different ideas of the characters that you've made?
I don't know if we have that much time.
She basically asked what you just joked about of how did you come up with all the ideas of the.
Do you have a specific character you want to ask about?
No.
Yeah. Yeah. How did you come up with the original idea for Fantastic Four? What was the seed of the idea?
Well, with the Fantastic Four, I wanted to do something that had a few characters. And I didn't want to make them too super, but I was looking for powers that nobody else had. So I thought that Invisible Girl, the invisibility was a good power. And then I gave her a force field also, as I remember. I had Mr. Fantastic, as he modestly called himself. I had him have the power to stretch his body in 24, which I thought was kind of original. And then the Human Torch, I copied, I must be honest. We had a character at Marvel, before it was Marvel, it was called Timely. When I came to work for them, they had two characters they were publishing. They didn't own them, but they used these characters and paid the artists for them. One was the Human Torch and one was the Submariner. And the two of them were always fighting, fire and water. And I had liked them. So nobody was using the Human Torch when I did the FF. And I thought I would let the teenage kid have the power of the torch. And then, of course, I wanted somebody special for the fourth one. And I decided I wanted a guy who was almost a monster, but he was a good guy. And I didn't know of any characters in comics like that. Later on, we had the Hulk, but that was later. So I came up with the thing, and I tried to make him a tragic character, but a funny character also, which is easy to do, but luckily I'm a wonderful writer. and those were the four characters. And I tried to do another thing too. I didn't want them to live in Gotham City or anything. I wanted them to live in New York City. And when they went to the movies, they'd go to the Radio City Music Hall. And if they had to go somewhere, they'd take the damn subway and so forth. So I wanted it to be as realistic as possible. Even Johnny Storm, the Human Torch, he would rather ride in his Chevy, what's the sport car Chevy has? Not a Camaro.
Corvette?
The Corvette, the Chevy. He'd rather ride his Chevy Corvette than go chasing villains. And then I decided to make the girl the heroine's fiancée, so that we didn't have to worry will they ever fall in love. They're already in love, they can get married. I tried to make everything as realistic as I could with these crazy characters. And I loved the Fantastic Four. And just for fun, on the top of the masthead, I wrote, "The world's greatest comic book," or something like that. And I figured that'll get them. The book was so well, and it became good, and that's why my publisher asked me to do more, and that's why Marvel became almost as good as DC.
Alright, guys, we have time for 2 more, so we're gonna take one over here.
Why were you?
No.
Why do you only have time to do more? I mean, what voice from above said you only have
Max did. Max said so.
Alright, here we go.
Sam, every time we see you, you are so full of energy and you seem so happy. What's your secret to a happy and productive life?
That's a really good question. I really appreciate it.
He said, every time we see you, you're so happy, you're so full of life. What's your secret to a happy life?
being with fans like you is something. When you get people who are friendly, and people who are enthusiastic, and nice people, and people who are interested in a lot of the things you're interested in, how can you not feel good at being in NJ? I mean, you people are great. I wouldn't want to say it to you and give you slow heads, but when I'm out with my friends, I tell them we got some great fans.
So now we got with great power comes great responsibility.
Which is a perfect transition into what I'm trying to ask. My name is Sterling. I am a native Texan, a 35-year-old man. Mr. Stanley, thank you. Your creations have helped. They've helped me want to be a better man my entire life thus far. Among your heroes, your superheroes, your good guys, and even some bad guys, there has been an ongoing theme, the greater good.
Wow.
That's what they want to achieve. So I want to know what got you so motivated to put so much focus on the greater good in your works? Because clearly you made an impact on, well, a lot of people.
The only three words I could recognize were based on your.
Well, he had a lot of nice things to say, so there's that.
Oh, you can repeat it if you want.
Thank you, sir.
He said because of you, your creations, you've inspired him every day to want to be a better person. And his question was, what inspired you to put so much focus on the greater good in your stories and equality and I'm just filling in gaps for you. What inspired you in your life to make the focus for the good of humanity and being good to each other?
Well, I'm glad you think of me that way. But when I was a kid, my mother was a great lady, and she always taught me to be nice to other people, and to be especially nice to people who were in trouble, or the kind of people that somebody else would ignore. You pay attention to them because they need it. You gotta be good to other people, and she always told me that. And then the books that I read, like A Tale of Two Cities, with Sidney Dalton, with the end he says it's a far, far better thing than I have ever done, and so forth. I tried to read good stuff, and Jean Valjean and Hugo's book. And I loved good heroes. I loved people who did things for other people with no over reward just because they were good people. And when I made up characters in the books, I wanted to try in my own stumbling way to get the kind of characters I had read about all the time. I don't know, am I answering the question?
That was literally the perfect answer, right? Yeah.
So much that with this being your last Texas convention,
we wanted to give something to you guys.
Money will do.
Ladies and gentlemen, give him a big Texas goodbye to Mr. Stanley.